After days of large crowds and loud demonstrations, things were noticeably calmer outside the Collin County Courthouse Saturday. But inside, the biggest surprise of the trial so far may have come from prosecutors themselves. After days of testimony from student athletes, coaches, first responders, and the medical examiner, the state rested its case. One notable absence, Hunter Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's twin brother. He has not been allowed inside the courtroom during testimony because he remains a potential witness. Prosecutors could still call him later in rebuttal. One of the final prosecution witnesses, a mutual friend of both Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony. He testified that after Anthony was asked to leave the memorial team tent, the confrontation escalated. He told jurors Anthony said, "Touch me and find out." He later testified, "I saw Austin fall back and yell, 'I've been stabbed.'" He also told the jury Anthony was not a close friend of his, but on cross-examination, defense attorneys challenged his account, showing jurors photos of him and Anthony together and questioning why he didn't step in to defuse the situation. When asked who was at fault for the stabbing, he responded, "I don't know."
When something like this happens, you're going to have...
All right, so Mally, what you need to know here is that there was a track meet happening here in Texas. There was between two of the different schools. One of the kids from the school, Karmelo Anthony with a K, Karmelo with a K, went over to another school's tent. This is where all the kids like hang out, stay in the shade, right? You have different tents so kids can just stay cool in the Texas heat, right? So he goes over and starts stirring things up a little bit. Karmelo Anthony happens to be black, right? Okay. The guy, Austin Metcalf, who he goes over there, is white. What ultimately happens is Metcalf, the white kid, is like, "Hey, you need to get out of here." Apparently there's some beef, and Karmelo Anthony ends up illegible, I guess now we know, stabbed him in the heart, killing Austin Metcalf. So the trial finalized yesterday, and wouldn't you know it, after 3 hours of deliberation, Karmelo Anthony found guilty of murder and will get 35 years. Now, this is
just to quickly add to that,
yes,
real fast. So, from my understanding, when he came in, he's like, they said like, "Okay, you need to leave," and he basically said something to the effect of, "If anyone touched me, like try me." Yes. He was like starting to amp things up. Then, white guy here says, "Listen, man, I'm not going to fight you at a track meet." So there was actual even conversation of, "I'm not going to be fighting you, dude," from my understanding. So just so that you understand, there's even a verbal...
Right, like it was evident that one of them was pursuing and one of them was trying to calm it down. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, from my understanding, yes.
It was announced yesterday that Anthony was guilty. He gets getting 35 years in prison. I think a minimum of, as was referenced earlier, a minimum of 17 years. Wouldn't you know, this seems like a very clear-cut case based off of all the things that were put together. I mean, a deliberation for 3 hours, that is like it takes more time to get to the room, get settled in, and then come back, right? That's a very quick deliberation when it comes to any sort of jury trial. Some people were saying that there was talk of it potentially lasting a couple days. The deliberation, nope, lasted a couple hours. And in and out, clear-cut case, everybody knew it, and the jury heard everything, voted it. But that was not good enough because the crowd outside went berserk. This was the response outside of the courthouse here to the verdict here, where people just were obviously extremely emotional after this. And you saw people like this.
My life don't matter? Man, fuck white life. How about that? I'm saying that. Because y'all want to play these games. Y'all want to play these crackhead games, so I'm going to play them. Fuck white lives. How about that? I hate white people. I like pussy. You know, hungry, crackhead, redneck pussy. That's what I hate. Yeah, I know.
This guy's literally going up to try to hug him right here.
It's also douche chilling, though.
Yeah, very much so.
Stop. These people are fucking racist. Enough with the trying to put your hand out. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I have problems with all of this because nobody's making it better. Okay. And yeah, anybody who brought race into this is fucking stupid because all I see is one kid who lost his temper and didn't control his ego and has ruined his own life because somebody in his life didn't teach him to act better. Somebody didn't tell him to control his emotions and have a healthy outlet and talk to somebody and deal with things appropriately. Someone did him a disservice, and through that, he hurt others. And that is devastating and sad that a mother lost her son and another mother has to watch her son's life be completely thrown away because of his own choices. That's what I'm focused on when I hear this story. I am so fed up with people focusing on skin color. How Neanderthal, how reduced of a species are we at this point where the first thing you're looking at is color? And these are the kind of people that want to say, oh, I don't see color in the world, yet you're standing outside of a courtroom that served justice. It sounds like the guy that did the thing wrong is going away for a very long time. I'm not going to debate over what was the right punishment, but I mean, I'm happy he's in jail. That doesn't happen in my state. Why are people so focused on the color of the skin and not the fact that a child is dead and another child didn't know better? Like,
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because I'll tell you exactly why. Because you hear verbiage like this immediately afterwards. Listen to the words that she uses here.
Let her talk. This was a legal lynching that happened in here today. We can't hear. All right. I said as a former prosecutor, this was a legal lynching that happened in this slaughterhouse. This is a slaughterhouse. This is not a courthouse. This courthouse is designed when you would come here and you look like us to slaughter you. That judge intentionally.
I kind of find it funny that she said they look like us, but she dyed her hair blonde and she straightened it, which is not black.
Fair. And also, it's crazy that that's a slaughterhouse, but we're not addressing the kid that literally stabbed another kid in the heart. What's that? What's that then?
Slaughtered?
Yeah, literally.
It's funny you mentioned that because we have other people. You say, why are people so stuck on race? And you say, talk about slaughtering. Well, we have other people who are stuck on race who is it really slaughtering? This is Jasmine Crockett talking about the size of the knife.
Wait a minute, was it a switch? I don't know what he had. It was like it seemed like it was a multi-tool, almost like a Swiss Army. Like with the little scissors and everything and whatever. So it was small.
Why does that matter?
Well, I would argue the size of it alone, you wouldn't even think it's a deadly weapon. And
that's why he had through the bag.
What? Someone died, and we care about what the. Why are we talking about the weapon? Someone died. A child died. A child is dead. Why are we talking about the size of the weapon? Oh, it's not even a deadly. Whatever he used clearly was a deadly weapon. A shoelace can be a deadly weapon. Are we serious?
If you fold paper like perfectly, you can cut someone with
for a reason. She said all kinds of crazy shit for years. Fuck you, Jasmine Crockett. You clueless bitch.
Oh, she's not clueless. She's very much aware of what she's saying and doing.
Right. Yeah. She is stoking
They're
the
evil.
flames.
These are evil. In the opinion of Phoenix, these people are all evil. That's
Let me just say this.
Fun fact.
We saw
and by the way, there's also been studies, fun fact, you can look this up, unless I'm wrong, then don't quote it. But there has been studies, from my understanding, that when you look at race in a trial, when you're getting jurors, that most minorities will kind of be a juror based on that race. The only group that doesn't, white people statistically do not. We kind of just we're just looking for fair is fair. And so they see this as a power struggle. This has always been about power. And so race is power. So that's what they do every single time. Not all, I'm not talking about an entire race of people here, but this group that makes trouble every single time. And this also same group bragged about letting OJ off when he nearly severed a woman's head off of her body because wrong skin color. Spare me, everybody. Spare me.
This will tie into OJ here actually shortly. Once again, why? Well, Karmelo Anthony's mother left the courthouse yesterday, obviously upset. What do you think she said on the way out? Well, let's hear.
We love justice for Karmelo! Justice for Karmelo! Justice for Karmelo! We got this! We got this! We overcame this!
Back off.
Racist, bias, prejudice, all that right there.
A complete parrot, a sheep. Nothing original. I mean, defending your murderer son, that's a crazy new low.
It's Phoenix kind of mirroring what you said the other day, just a few minutes ago, talking about I had the study from Pew Research over here that this is something that I obviously I don't understand, right? Because you're going to hear the data here, right? According to a major 2019 Pew Research Center survey on racial and ethnic identity in the United States, the percentage of adults who say their race or ethnicity is, quote, extremely or, quote, very important to how they think about themselves, okay? So what percentage? We have Black, Hispanic, Asian, and white adults. Okay. What percentage of each of those quote unquote races feel their race or ethnicity is extremely or very important to them? Let's start at the top. Black adults. 74% say that their race or ethnicity is extremely or very important right here to them. Hispanic adults, 59% say their race or ethnicity is extremely or very important to them. Asian adults, 56%. White adults, 15.
Yep.
15%.
Yeah. Now they'll say this is because of power dynamics. That's what they'll say. You have the privilege of not having to be concerned with your skin color because you are in power and you're in control. This is their argument constantly, instead of us just being part of a civilized society. That's the excuse you hear over and over and over again.
Funny you mentioned the civilized nature of this. People were obviously very, very passionate about this yesterday. And this Karmelo Anthony supporter was out and she was just dumbfounded. She didn't know what to do after this. Let's hear what she had to say.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do?
Not stab people.
What?
It seems like
the correct answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teach your kids to not be criminals.
Just teach them how to not get a knife out of their backpack and stab a kid in the heart.
Yeah.
You know? Just
Don't be
saying.
murderers. Very easy.
I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
No mo. No mo.
Let me ask you
But
this.
he didn't.
You could have walked away, and if you had walked away, your kid would not be in prison.
Yeah.
This is actually very simple math.
They clearly, I mean, I'm borderline convinced listening to them that they truly don't understand what occurred and that they have a very warped idea of the reality of what occurred. You can't walk away anymore. No, you can, and he didn't. That's the crux of the problem. He
Bingo.
didn't. He incited the problem.
Yes, it's very simple. I'm going to help you all out. Real simple.
Yeah.
In a situation like this, don't stab someone. In a situation where a cop,
Well, fine.
in a situation where a cop is saying, I need to see your hands on the wheel and I need you to stop and get out of the car. Do that. Talk to a lawyer later. Shut up. Do nothing. Talk to a lawyer later. Maybe the cop did something bad. Great. Fine. You can get him in trouble. What you don't do is go and reach for a weapon or try and peel off. Very, very simple things. Those two things have now saved you from any problems. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's amazing the thought process. Like people are like, well, you know, he didn't mean to kill him. Oh, okay, that's
Deep
okay.
in thought, Craig. There he is.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have the powerhouse of intelligence that is Cardi B, who came in and says, "Wow, just freaking wow, disgusting. This is not justice. This is trying to make an example." And to which I would say, yes, you should make an example out of people that stab other people in the hearts at track meets.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there.
I would have said life. I think 35 was light because remember that he's going to get off in 17 years.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I would have been more on board for a life prison sentence as well. No. Yeah, I am fully on board of making examples out of shitty people. That's why I was all on board for for people who got fired for the kind of shit that found them back at their jobs. It's like if their boss saw them do something stupid, I'm like, yeah, well, consequences.
This, to me, the first time I remember seeing this, as a kid growing up, we talk about how great the 90s were, right? And people had forgotten about this. But there were incidents, right? And we saw this in real time happening. And we mentioned O.J. Simpson's earlier and the verdict. And I have this clip here, the live reaction of the O.J. Simpson verdict on the Oprah Winfrey show right here. Have you guys seen this clip and the reaction to it?
I think I saw it ages ago.
I feel like I've seen it once before, yeah.
Case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the...
We got to flip this on people and just start saying you're racist, right? Because that's what it is. It's
Yeah,
racist.
yeah, no, they are racist. That's correct.
Yeah, 100%, right?
100% correct.
I can't stand the whole idea of, well, you can only be racist if you're white. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It is, yeah.
And that's really what a lot of this comes down to with this car. So this is your first time seeing and hearing all this, Mally.
Yeah.
Your overall thoughts as you've discovered this in real time?
Wow. Well, it makes a whole lot of sense why we're here now. That's for sure, because we have been glorifying these kinds of people for so long and making a light of it or making some kind of like big show out of it. When I was just thinking when that was playing, that's a whole lot of people cheering who weren't there and don't have evidence. I don't typically like to have a whole ton of input on things that I wasn't present for, but when you have extremely hard evidence, like countless witnesses, and yeah, he was stabbed because he's dead, there's your evidence, like, then it's kind of hard to have any kind of different opinion. But in general, that's a whole lot of people who are cheering for something that they have no idea the truth behind what happened.
And don't have no desire to know.
Yeah, no, they have a version of the story that they've convinced themselves is true, and then they're going to just repeat it. And that's what all that side of the aisle does anyways. It's they're professional at it. So no, my reaction to seeing that is today makes a lot of sense. That's my reaction, and sadly so.
Then you see the response from people who say things like this: dig Austin Metcalf up and stab his ass again.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the kind of people that were happy about Charlie.
Look at this. Almost 5,000 people hearted that or laughed at it.
That's despicable.
Stop sending your kids to these white schools.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, okay, wait, so are they self-suggesting segregation? First question. And second question, that would, okay, do it to yourselves, I guess.
Yeah, and let me be enormously clear. Again, I am talking about a small section of this group. This is not every minority who's thinking this. There's not, like, even in that audience, you saw a black woman who looked appalled that people were clapping. Again, I'm not saying everybody. But for those who are just like the people that are pro stabbing someone in the heart for no reason, yes, please do not send your kids to white school, Indian school, any school.
And basically, if we can classify a person as an animal because of the way that they act and the way that they do not condone, like they act on every emotion and every whim, like it's an instinct, like they're literally raised in a barn and they don't have any processing or control or filter. Those people should be made an example out of. Those people should be, put in front of the crowds and the masses to be mocked. Like that is, I don't know how anybody would look at what just happened to that poor child and scream anything but justice because, and like Phoenix said, should have been longer, in my opinion, for the kid.
Yeah, I wish I could say it's going to get better before it gets worse. But you see a situation like this where these people are so blinded by their hatred that and they're so consumed with what people like Jasmine Crockett are telling them, that they're oppressed, that they should feel horrible, and that these people that they'll never get improve their life, and that it's all Whitey's fault. Like that's so disheartening to hear because I've never in my life thought like, I it's just so foreign to me as somebody who I go back to back when I had Game Attack and I'm streaming here with my buddies at the time, and the George Floyd thing happens, and we're talking about it on the show on a stream, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to treat people good, right? And I had to, I didn't, but I was told to apologize for that. It wasn't good enough to treat people good or to treat people, you had to be better than that. Be better, right? And the oppression Olympics associated with it, and these people who are so consumed with racism, it's so sad. It's so sad, and I think that's the biggest. I just feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for all of them.
Yeah.
The only touch grass thing I would say to everybody, the most critical thing is is that you have to understand that obviously the media, social media, everything like that, and the algorithms reward race wars, right? Like they reward them doing it, and they also reward people like us also equally pointing out, like, look how racist these people are. The touch grass moment is, you have to understand that, again, much like everything, it is a percentage of people. It's not everyone. Yes. If you were to poll, X amount of black people out there who are aware of the thing, you'd find many are on your side and going, yeah, that was appalling. I'm not for that. So you just have to keep in mind, this is not everyone. It's a group of people that are infuriating in what they're saying, but it's a small group.
I go back to this idea, and I heard somebody speaking about this idea that there's 330 million people in the United States, right? Let's just say 1% of those people are like that. That's still 30 million people who are crazy. And let's just say it's 0.1%. That's still, 3 million people who are like that. So there's a huge percentage of people, and it is a small percentage, but there's a large number that are driving this hysteria. And it's sad and it's crazy. And I just wish they could do better. Hit that subscribe button right here and watch another video right here.